Hi, James. How Johnny? How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm all right. How's work?
Work is good.
Yeah, Johnny. How's it going?
Yeah, very good. Excited for 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
great.
I mean, we even seeing this happening is it's so elating for me. For someone who commenced this a few years ago, and now you're seeing five. This is really good.
I know it's amazing. I'm always telling people I'm very grateful to God for the opportunity to build something that will last this long.
Yeah.
And I'm even more excited about the future and what is in front of us. What has it been like for you, Atoms?
It's been phenomenal for me. Yeah, it's a lot of ups and downs, but seeing the goal that the future is bright just gives me that joy. Like we're going we're going to places.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as founders, coming together to dream about building something like this called Treepz. I remember the first day I called you, Johnny. Next person you called was Atoms, actually. And I was saying to you how I was looking at the opportunity for us to get people to move from point A to B. If you're putting on, my perfect example I used from day one was you wear a white shirt like you're wearing now. You have your time, you have to get into that bus with people and struggle every day to get to work. And up to today, that's still what we're doing, helping employees get to work in a more comfortable and structured manner. But I mean, it's been 5 years. What has been the most exciting time in 5 years for you, Johnny?
A couple of things, right? The most so I mean the ups and downs from when we started to when COVID came.
Yes.
During COVID it was more like is there still a future? I mean, it looks like the whole the world literally just shut down.
Yeah.
And we were wondering, and because the mobility space was grossly affected, one was wondering how you're going to navigate, the curves and still come out of this eventually.
Yeah.
Especially when your business becomes grounded and nothing is happening. But I think the turning point for us as a business, why businesses were shutting down globally, that was when the textiles doors just opened. And
Yes.
we got into textiles and even came out as one of the best startups in that cohort, and which was really nice. And thanks to you who actually engineered the whole thing to get us into that. So that was the icing on the cake for me, right?
Okay.
Because after textiles, it looks like everything just opened up, and a lot of things started happening, moving past from investors relations and fundraising and business expansion and all of that. So but the point where it was more like the icing on the cake for me, where things turned around, and the most exciting for me was we getting into textiles.
Okay. Fantastic. I mean, I remember that moment.
Yeah.
Sunil, when the conversation started with Sunil about getting into textiles to Toronto, he was pretty excited about the business at that time, and he's still excited about the business today. And midway for us to get in, because I can just imagine what would have happened to us if we hadn't gone through that program to get the exposure.
Yeah.
Not so much on the training was good. But more of the exposure that it gave us and the investors that took interest in Treepz eventually. But what about you, Atoms?
I mean, for me, one of the exciting things that happened was prior to launching the business. We had a meeting. I don't know if you guys remember. You made a statement. I don't forget that statement.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Okay.
You made a statement. You said, guys, we're about to launch something new. We don't know if it's going to work or not, but we are in this. And my excitement was the first day we launched. I was waiting for the first booking. And I knew that if one person books this bus, thousands of people are going to book the bus, and it happened. The chaos was exciting. In the office, it was so exciting. And I saw how we were growing. We started growing from 1 to 10. Rides to 50 to 100. And that excites me, that you see that you've started something and it's growing. Were there challenges? Yes. But life is the number of challenges you conquer makes life exciting for us. And that is where we are today. Johnny spoke about Techstars. It was off the road for me. And after that time, we have seen the connections, how people have seen the business from outside. It became a global business, and even up till now, if there is a word that is more than global, it's a universal business. So for me, that's it. And I see the dedication of the founders was something else. I mean,
if I want to ask you that same question, what would you do?
Yes, I was actually going to get to that. But it's also interesting, they mentioned the launch as one of the most exciting times for you. I've had many exciting times in Treepz. One of it for me was the point when I knew that we were going to launch. That time we were calling ourselves Plenty Waka. The point when I knew that we were going to launch Plenty Waka, having pulled all the resources we had pulled together, and we got into that car park with the 17 brand new buses. The feeling of just looking at 17 brand new buses in the park and knowing that all these buses are ours to work with. I was like, okay. So I know sometimes I push. I'm famous for saying, I say that there are two people that walked on water. One was Jesus, the other one was Peter. Because Peter decided to look at him and then put his leg in and say, okay, I'll come to you. I've taken that seriously to say, okay, I take risk, sometimes calculated risk. But when everything then starts coming together and you start seeing real things happening, those 17 brand new buses, the day I saw all of them in the park, that was exciting. That was one of the most exciting moments. The second one was when the team rallied together to change our name. It should have been a moment to rock the boat. I remember when launching in Benin at that time, and I was in Benin. I think you were in Lagos. We were flying into Benin. We were coordinating the team in the house. So everybody went into the house. I was talking with Isidore in Ghana. We had not announced the acquisition of Starbucks in Ghana. And I was walking out around that hotel. I was walking that day. As much as there was fear, there was anxiety. There was so much excitement in the fact that the team could come together and have a new name for the company, and the way we did it in 72 hours to change the entire branding, I think that was also exciting. Another one was when we raised money, right? And we had raised our first seed round. And then 3 days later, somebody else was coming to come and invest. And they were ready to double the valuation of the company. Like, what is this person saying that we're not seeing? And they eventually went ahead to help us lead the round. And you had investors that had come in who were struggling to make them convinced about the business, come in, and then within a week, they've learned that the valuation of the business has gone up by double. And they just started going on from there. I think that was true. And then the last one for me was when we broke even. Just getting to a place where the business no longer was dependent on funding, investor funding. I think when it finally dawned on me that we could run this business without investor funding any longer, I think that was really exciting. But beyond the excitement, there have been challenges. Which one broke your heart the most? Let me start with you.
The first one was COVID.
COVID.
All the buses were shut down.
Yes.
I was the last day before the COVID was announced. I saw them, we had gotten like 25 buses, right? All of them were booked in less than a minute.
Yeah.
So 17 times 25, you can imagine how many bookings we had in just less than 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And the next week,
everything was zero.
With
the fear of not knowing when we start again.
Even when we started again, government came with 60% capacity on the buses.
This was after about 7, 6,
Yes.
8 months.
And people were now worried with the whole COVID thing and all of. So it was just crazy
It
for
was
me.
another big moment.
It was heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
And well, another moment that was heartbreaking was when we lost one of our community
Yes,
staff.
so that was what I was going to do.
It was
that was
painful.
sad.
Yeah, but life comes with its ups and downs. Yeah, we have moved on.
Yeah. What about you, Johnny?
So, I mean, there has been a lot of exciting moments in business, right?
Oh no, you've talked about exciting moments for you.
Yeah.
So now it's the
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about
not so exciting.
enjoying the exciting moment, and all of a sudden the not so exciting moment
okay.
into play. I remember when we even got to 100,000 rights completed.
March
March
14th,
Yeah, and
2020.
And
Yes,
yeah,
that was the peak of the whole COVID
yeah,
stuff.
and we were celebrating. Thereafter, how what's it called? Daily bookings and all of that just started dwindling, and the calls were just going down. Like,
Yes.
what is happening? And but above all, right, the business has made us to we've gotten over 100 staff in the business because of time, right? How we have employed different professionals that have come passed through the businesses, and these professionals through this platform they've gone ahead to
do amazing
things, and all of that. But you having to lose them at some point was a major concern also. And I wonder how the likes of Elon Musk actually dealt with this, with the whole Twitter stuff.
Elon Musk is a different breed, man. Guys, I mean, I've checked out people who have worked with him.
Yeah.
He's I think he has a blocker for some of these things to not let emotions get into tough decisions that need to be made in the organization.
So I mean, you having to get these professionals that you have built these relationships with, and all of a sudden, because of business decision that has to do and the business to survive and all of that, certain people have to just move on, and you have to now start rebuilding again.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the low moments for me as a founder, and huge learning curves also, and that one has actually garnered over the course of time. But yeah, that's one of it for me. I think the next one is going to be, which Atunj also mentioned also. I just want to reiterate that also was our staff that we lost at some point. That one was really that one hit me hard because she was somebody I saw a lot of potentials, having to build a business, and when that whole news came of our demise and all of that, that was really painful.
I mean, losing Christiana was maybe my one of it was the hardest thing I had to deal with. And that was because we all worked with her directly. She had so much promise. We're looking forward to what she would do in the future with us, and actually devastated the entire team. This was someone that we lost, across the countries we're in, everyone felt it because of the impact she had, and so we still pay our respects to her. And just coming out of that, right? What will you consider your? So just, I mean, 2 more questions for you guys. You know that I'm not Larry King, late Larry King. What was your turnaround moment in Treepz? Because we've gone through highs, lows, and highs and lows. But what would you say was your own turnaround moment in Treepz? And the way I want you to say it is because the way I want you to say it, taking into consideration that we're recording this, is assuming somebody saw this video 5 years from now and they were looking for an idea on how to go around what they are doing in their own business and you want to inspire them. What do you say is your turnaround moment that person should learn from?
Well,
do you want to go first?
Okay. So for me as a businessman, right? It's a very good question. So the turnaround moment for me, or for us as founders, is a place where the business itself came to a place of sustainability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, prior to now, you depend on the entirety of the business depending on investors' funding to do everything.
Revenue was revenue was coming in, but it wasn't, the margins weren't good enough to do. Yeah. And you know, businesses, there are some businesses that build themselves around that. And looking at the economics of scale to make a bigger business. But yeah, please go on.
Yeah, so when we got to the point where, I mean, decisions were made, right? But having to get to a place where the business is self-sustaining. And you can brag about that because now when you're speaking to investors, you are not
under pressure
to getting their funds. All right, it's no longer the whole narrative changed immediately. We're now in a position whereby, hey, if you want to do this, do it. If you're not ready to do this, I have other basic things to do, and that's started really well with me. And as we're building that, the team are now seeing what they're doing, seeing the results of their efforts and all of that. And yes, and it's exciting for them, it's exciting for me, and I just feel for me as a businessman, when I go get my business where I'm getting into profitability, that is something every entrepreneur or business owner wants to get to, and for me that was really the turnaround.
Fantastic.
Yes.
What about you?
Yes, so Johnny hit the nail on the head, right? By talking about how we can become sustainable. But I just want to add to that. I mean, we are celebrating 5 years anniversary. I've seen 5 generations of team members, right? And we've seen team members, and we are seeing team members. I'm seeing a turnaround, a complete turnaround in the current team that we have, and how everybody is taking on their roles as leaders. They are handling their roles as if they are the owners of the business. And we are seeing the result. It's a big turnaround for us. So what it tells me is success is not in the numbers. Have few people that know their onions, and the business will turn around. I mean, that's one of the
fantastic. I mean, so while you say that, I'm going to give credit to those that have come and done their own bit and moved on. We had some very fantastic people in the team. But today, the team that is currently there, I remember on the call, the staff meeting we had on Thursday last week, where I was saying, you have team members that are doing 2 people's role, but doing it with such sense of ownership and joy and passion that it makes it easy for you to work with them. These days we're having calls and you see less and less of any issues around how they relate to themselves, but more around how they support themselves to get the goals that they want. So I think it's a big one, the sense of leadership in the team members and sense of ownership. It's actually really, really cool. If I speak to my own turnaround moment, it was that when we went to Ghana, all of us, the entire managers were all in Ghana, and we went through the exercises we went through in Ghana, and then we sat as founders and said, we have to make changes. And these changes, it was going to hurt us. We had to make tough decisions. We had to slow down on the model that made us popular and go the model that will make us survive. You know, that period to make that decision and have the team, both of you support me in the decisions we're going to make at that time, and the team members we had to, in the whole restructuring process. I think between June of 2022 and December of 2022, that was the turnaround period for me, that then ushered in what we started looking at as sustainability in 2023. Now, I remember when, John, you called my attention to the fact that you said, I'm going to use this to the example where you gave it to them. So, Onyeka, you see all the noise we've been making since. We've not made 700,000 naira. We have not made 700,000 naira in a month. And then all of a sudden, we're making decisions like this and see what is in the bank account. You know, after all expenses, this is our net that's in bank account. And I started looking at that and it was growing and we're seeing steady growth and we're seeing things coming around. I think for me, that was my biggest turnaround because eventually it led to where we are today, where we can say, okay, we're in this self-sustaining position. I think that was it for me. Now, in wrapping up,
I have a question about that.
Please go ahead, ask the question.
Oh, okay.
Because I was going to wrap up on what we see for, but maybe you can go.
Okay. I think before you answer the question, right? So we've done 5 years, right?
Yes.
We have gotten, we have over, if I'm not mistaken, over 130 people come through the system.
Yeah.
So your top 10, since we're over 100, top 10 staff that are passed through the system.
That's it.
That's it.
So you give top 10, then we have you at top 10.
Okay.
Whether present or...
So I wouldn't want present because
Okay.
present are already they're still with us.
Oh, you mean those that have gone?
Yes, those that have gone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So we shouldn't mention anyone that's
No.
because you know we still have people that been with
Yes,
us
that
for
will
the
give
entire
them-
5
we'll give
years.
them later on.
Okay.
That have done this
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Oh, for those that have gone, top 10. Okay, that's putting me on the spot.
I don't
We've
think
we've had some very fantastic people. But if you say top, okay, one of the people I'll mention is Abdulwahab.
One.
Yeah, Abdulwahab was a team player. While he was with the team, he did very well. Another person I'll mention is, I'll mention her last. Yeah, so you want 10.
Yeah.
My top 10 will be Abdulwahab, will be I think while we were at it, while he was in the system, he did well. Ikena. Yeah, so I think Ikena was one of my top 10 while he was in the system. While he was with us in Treepz, he did well. That's number 2. Number 3 would be Uzo did well. Uzo carried weight beyond the necessary. I mean, beyond relationship that she's a sister. She did very well. Number 3, I think I will also put. There are 2 other ladies in that team that I'm going to mention, Victoria and Tricia. I think they did well. If I move away from the marketing team now to the engineering team, how many have I mentioned?
5.
5 already.
Wahab,
Ikena,
Uzo, Tricia, Victoria.
I'll give Kemi her feathers. I'll have to give Kemi her feathers while she was with the team. I think she pulled in her weight to the best of her own ability from where she came from. I'll give her feathers 6. So I have 4 more to go. So you don't want me to include people in the team because there are some fantastic people in our team.
No.
There's some fantastic people that have been there for 5 years. It would have been easy to mention.
Okay, let's.
No. So since you said we'll talk about them, that is fine. So let me go back. I look at in the engineering team. I will look at beyond Ikena. I'll look at Francis. What I put? What's his name? David. Yes. So I was going to say Francis, but I think David pulled his weight. I like what David did with us. I'm not going to forget him. Product engineering, product development guy. No, not Adeniyi. Before Adeniyi, Tomiwa's prodigy, Aaron.
Aaron.
Yes, I think Aaron did well. Or Aaron contributed to the success of the company. He did a fantastic job. Johnson. Johnson was also good. He did very well. How many?
About 8 or 9.
Okay, then I would say late Cristiano.
Okay.
So as the last person.
Yeah, over to you.
No, I want you to go next. I want you to go next.
This is
Okay, so I'm going to take it this way, right? I'll start from Ghana. So,
Yes.
so let me start from Ghana.
Oh, you put me on the spot. I was just putting it in like.
I know, so I it was intentional.
No. You see, though, I'm sorry. You see, though, it's number one. No, you see, though, it's number one for me on my list.
Oh my
You see,
God.
though, did, and I'm lazy. You see, though, moved from being a to being a and I'm really sorry, I actually forgot.
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay.
That was a smart.
Yeah, so I'm going to mention that based on a relationship that moved beyond just a walk to becoming friends, to becoming family. All right, so that's just people are really connected with at that level. So the first person is Isidore. Isidore was just everything, right? To date, we still get on. Ivy, Madam Ivy. Madam Ivy, that is Ghana. If I leave Ghana to Nigeria, all right, I'm going to start with, so I'm going to just go based on departments. The early starters in the business, Kemi, like you said, I'll give her a flower because she was there from the one when there was nothing, and that's how many now? 3. Ikena from a place where when we started the business with the technology, some guys were building that from Bulgaria, and he came, he took up the challenge, and they just built the whole thing. That he coordinated the team, and so Ikena for me. The next person is going to be Obiora.
Obiora. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why Obiora, I will say give Obiora his flowers also is from a place whereby the corporate mobility we're driving today actually started organically by him just driving that gradually to become what it is today. There's a lady in legal I want, what's her name? Eyimofe.
So I think you don't need that. Because these are fantastic people.
Yeah.
But you know, you used to let me say something.
Yeah.
Mofe, Obiora, Isidore, these people you mentioned, these are fantastic people.
Yeah.
They'll be my top 10 any day.
Yeah.
But nice one. He just put me on the spot. Yeah.
So, what's the next one again? How many have I mentioned?
Number 7.
Number 7 now.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Okay. Trisha.
Okay.
Yeah, Trisha. Yeah, Trisha, fantastic lady. The other person is going to be I'll put Elo in that mix also. Elo in business development.
Yeah.
Then the last person, right?
Yeah.
The last person will go to Uzo for me. Uzo. Yes, so what to
Do
you?
you still need me to point? Okay, so let me attempt. I think I will start from Uzo.
Okay.
Uzo, number 1, one of the fantastic people that have that have worked with us in time past, and we still communicate. Second person is Obiora. Yes, he showed some level of dedication, right?
No, actually, it shows 100% dedication.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
in the team.
Yeah, while
So,
in
you know,
the
I keep
team.
using those words.
Yeah.
While in the team, this guy is
While in the team, he was dedicated. The third person is Ikena. Ikena had a lot of people on his team,
And he managed.
and he was able to manage the engineers.
Yeah.
David Adekunle was one quiet guy who was doing a lot, was getting things done. Then you have Sarah Bell, you have Kemi, Tricia, then Abdul Wahab.
Okay.
Abdul Wahab was a
One that does the technical
yes,
behind the
he
scenes.
does.
Yes.
He does the dirty.
Maybe one of the most improved employees we ever had.
And one person that I would call, he's not a star, but it was David, that was the office assistant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
David
Yes.
was somebody that was, if you
Quiet.
very quiet. He was
Doing his
doing what he was doing, and the last person I think I've called now, I was counting so that somebody will not say this. I think the last person for me, I can't call her because she's posthumous, Christiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I think just beyond this, if you add people from other countries,
yeah, Beatrice.
right? So there's Beatrice is still there. So I'm trying to. You said we shouldn't mention people that are still there. Okay, so I think Stanley in Uganda.
Wandira Stanley.
Wandira did very, very well.
Yeah.
Antonia, while she was in Ghana, I think she pulled in her effort. I'm going to mention his name. He's still in this. Okay, so can we now go to people in the system?
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Kenya.
John Mululu.
John Mululu in Kenya is a fantastic guy. I will not miss that.
Yeah.
I think he did an absolute. He's doing a very good job, even committed to the team and pulling in his weight. To the current team, Helen, easy to go to say one of the best team members I've ever worked with in any organization. Helen has been with us for 5 years. She started from an officer. Today she's a vice president in the company. Helen is a phenomenal person we've worked with. So, okay, we're speaking on the current team. Dara, amazing guy. We may end up calling everybody.
All of them.
I can be meted, all right?
Yeah.
So I mean, with the transition we have today with this team,
Yeah.
I think she also did a lot,
Yeah.
which is the person of Ajoke.
Okay.
Ajoke Yusuf,
Okay,
yeah. I mean,
Short time.
yeah, very short time, but looks like she did like 5 years. You know what? Yeah, I'll give her.
Yeah, and Florence too. Florence has come in and pulled.
Yeah. Florence
is
in.
Florence is-
She's just
God sent. I would say.
In another level, right? She
Yeah.
has just taken. She understands the business. I mean, and the way she runs. So there are few people that comes into your business that take so much ownership as if they own the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what
That's
I
what
see
Florence gives.
with the current team, right? And like you mentioned, from loyalty also, you give it to Helen any day,
Yeah.
right? Helen has been, with us on this journey within the last 5 years, and we can't be grateful enough for what she has given back to the business. I think that's more like.
That's basically it.
All right. So,
sorry,
well done to
you guys on the spot.
Yeah. We may not be able to cover everyone. The marketing team is amazing. Susan, Timmy, James.
Yeah.
The engineering team, you're all amazing. Tina,
Jennifer,
Jenny,
come and do it.
Glory, every one of you, Dara, and Jennifer in the customer service team. Fantastic people. So thank you very much, everyone. Now, I want to wrap up now on this note. You look at the next 5 years. What do you see in Treepz?
Yeah, 5 years has. Okay. We've done 5 years. Thank God for where we are right now. When a business has done 5 years, it shows that the business has come to find what's it called, the product market fit that they want to now scale with.
all right, and we've been tested. What we now need to do is to keep on creating that household name, go expand into many more regions that we are currently not operating. And again, beautifully, I think what I love, again, what we are doing right now is the outlook of the current technology that we're currently working on. I just love it. It's amazing, and I think the customers are going to like it, and it is something that a lot of people would like to engage with. Okay.
What about you, Tush?
So, I will start with an adage. The best time to plant a mango tree was 5 years ago. The next best time is now. We planted a mango tree 5 years ago. It has grown, but we now need to be more formidable. A 5-year-old kid will still be, will still find a way to guide, talk. So we are in the next 5 years, I see that the movement that we started will begin to reap what we sowed. It's a great movement. Treepz is a great movement. I cannot wait for what the technology, let me not spill whatever it is, but what we are seeing, we're not just looking at Africa alone. We are expanding into different nations of this world, and that movement will be present in every country, in all the continents of this world. People should feel that something that was built locally has gone finally universal, not just global. That's what I see.
Okay, amazing. I think for me, in looking at the plans we've set out on over the next 3 years first and 5 years, I think what I'm most excited about in Treepz is how we are creating solutions for employees of organizations that provide transportation as a benefit for people. There's a future where that will evolve beyond that, and we will cover everything that is pretty much looking like what employees will want to have from an app. I'm excited about the possibilities of doing that with the team we have, and they're already showing competence that we can achieve that with the team we have. The second thing is our growth plan for the continent of Africa is that we'll see Treepz in 10 countries in Africa within the next 5 years. Today we have presence in 7 countries actually. We're operational in 4 out of the 7. And that will include, people will ask, what are those 7 countries? It's the US, we are registered there, we're registered in the UAE, we're registered in Canada, and then the 4 countries we're in Africa: Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda. And so I see us from an operational perspective expanding to more countries. The plan that we have for East Africa, we would execute. The plan we have for West Africa, execute. And then for South Africa, we would also execute it. Beyond that is consolidation. I see efforts around consolidating with other partners and bringing in some very interesting partnerships. I'm excited about those opportunities. And the last thing is growth for our team members. I'm seeing a future where our team members will do what we are doing one day. I see a future where that may happen in the next 5 years, where they are doing what we're doing today, where they can ease off the burden of having to just constantly lead from front, and we'll develop more leaders in the organization to do what we're doing. I think that will happen. Last thing maybe I'll say is I think financing will come in different formats. It can be debt financing, it can be equity financing, it can be whatever it is. I think that will then happen in a significant way from a comfortable position without the pressure of raising those funds. Our revenue will put us in a very profitable position. I am excited about that. So these are the things that excite me about Treepz. Its impact on the landscape. We've moved 5 million people. It's almost like we're doing 1 million per year. But I think we will get to a place where we'll move about 20 million people in this time, in the next 5 years. It's a multiple of 3. We'll move 20 million people, and that would be a cumulative of the first one. So each year, I see us getting to a point where we'll get to a place where we're moving 3 million people in a year. Because Treepz is available, and then that impact is felt on the continent in a rich way. So I think that's what excites me. And to our stakeholders, our investors, board of directors that supports us, to everyone that has gone through the company, it's our own way of saying thank you. It's our 5th year, and we're excited about where we are. We have a co-founder that's no longer with us, and we have to acknowledge him, Afolabi. He was with us till we got up to this 5th year. But I mean, like anything that starts, some people may move on, some people may stay on. We're still together, we're still strong, we still support him where we can. But today, the 3 of us are committed to this. We're committed to the future, we're committed to the goals for the next 5 years. I will say thank you for believing in Treepz. Thank you for supporting us, and we hope to never disappoint you with all the things we'll be doing in the years to come. All right, thanks a lot, guys.